my college switched from beef to mushroom hamburgers.
Yeah.
And I looked it up to see, like, are they still doing that? Like,
I had hamburgers at your college. They were delicious. Why would they get rid of them?
I know. It happened right after I left. And I was thinking, are they still even doing, like, was there an outcry from students about it? Like,
get rid of this meat.
Like, are they still doing that 5 years later, 6 years later?
I don't know.
And I found this picture here. It just happened to come up. Here is, they're calling it the crafted burger.
What?
Allergens none, and you can sample the mushroom hamburger.
Is this from your alma mater?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So you can sample little crumbs of ground beef and mushroom mixed together, cold on a platter if you want.
That doesn't look good.
It tastes.
That doesn't look good.
I know. Tastings continue this week in the Frist Gallery. Stop by today until 3 to sample that Princeton crafted burger, a blend of grass-fed beef and mushrooms.
Okay, so so that's not the chief eating place, right? That's the late meal place, right?
Yeah. But they serve this burger across campus.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely, it's literally, it felt totalitarian when I read it. Here's the article for it. The Princeton crafted burger. Bye-bye all beef. Hello, sustainability.
Oh, my God.
If you ate a burger on campus during the last year, did you notice anything new? So right there off the bat, I'm like, you tricked people?
Yeah, you didn't tell them?
You didn't tell them? Those juicy grilled patties are a blend of 60% grass-fed beef and 40% local portobello mushroom, otherwise known as the Princeton crafted burger. All beef burgers are no longer available on campus. So there's 6 dining halls, or maybe even more at this point.
Right.
And you can't get a regular cheeseburger.
Let me tell you something. If I were a student at that school and I would be eating a lot of cheeseburgers.
Which I was, and I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I found out that I had been eating mushrooms.
I would be livid.
Mushrooms are not in my diet. I do not eat mushrooms, period. End of story.
Yeah, right.
I don't like mushrooms. I don't want mushrooms. I don't want them disguised as anything.
Yeah.
I don't eat them. Okay?
Yes. You're not a fungus guy.
I'm not a fungus
You're not
person.
a fun guy.
I'm a fun guy.
Yeah.
I'm not a fungus guy.
Yeah, right.
And no, they had to tell people ahead of time.
Listen, I'm sure it wasn't like a literal secret. Like, I'm sure they didn't lie and say these are beef, but I didn't know about it until this article came out, I don't think. And it was like, have you noticed anything different about your food? So to me, that's like, I hate being tricked into eating something that I don't want to eat.
Yeah. Well, aside from that,
I don't like that.
So that's an item as it is. What about why are they getting rid of meat?
Why are they doing it?
What's wrong with beef?
Well, it's right in the title, Hello, Sustainability.
Oh, sustainability.
Right. So they say the change is part of Princeton's sustainability action plan. Eating less animal-based protein is often the single most effective thing an individual can do to combat climate change, erosion, and water and soil quality degradation.
Right.
So it's exactly that. It's climate change. Combat climate change by eliminating America's favorite food.
Yeah.
From one of America's top colleges.
Right.
That's so it's clearly
anybody who's anti-cheeseburger is anti-American.
You said that yesterday when we were talking about this.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that aspect to it. It's like you picked the most American, basically the most patriotic food on the menu.
Right.
And you eliminated it. You changed it.
Hot dogs and hamburgers.
Hot dogs and hamburgers are the 2 most patriotic foods.
Right.
If you thought, what's like when you think Americana, that's like a restaurant style, right?
Sure.
They call it Americana.
Yeah, sure.
So it's like hamburger,
hamburger,
cheeseburger, and French fries.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Ironically, French fries, of course, but they got rid of the cheeseburger.
Yeah. I don't know. They don't like American stuff, I guess.
I don't think they do.
Yeah.
I don't think they do.
Well, all I can tell you is I switched over to much more animal-based product in my own diet.
Let me just say, because people are going to say, well, the mushrooms are locally grown, so it is. I know, but it's this culture. It's the spirit. It's you're eliminating something. That's important. It's important for a nation to have a culture.
Right.
And part of American culture is the cheeseburger.
Is cheeseburger.
You can grow mushrooms locally and eat them too. That's fine. That's great, but you're eliminating something that's part of the culture. And
That's how
I think that feels good to them.
That's how
and it feels bad
McDonald's
to me.
McDonald's took off because it was all American.
Yeah.
Big Macs, you know.
Well, I think it also had to do with just the speed of everything too, right?
Right.
Wait, what came before McDonald's? There was you talked about going to a different place. Right?
Oh, well, but that's because I grew up in New York.
Yeah.
So we didn't have it. At that time, well, we had White Castles.
White Castle, yeah.
White Castle. There was also a chain called Wesson's, which was basically looked like McDonald's. It was like a McDonald's knockoff, but they were adventurous enough to move into the New York City, into the 5 borough markets, which McDonald's at that time hadn't done.
But they were around.
Oh, yeah, they were in existence. Oh, yeah, because I grew up in the 60s. So McDonald's been around, since the 50s, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So
well, I don't know when they actually exploded into this
I remember when the first McDonald's opened up in the Bronx. And
wow,
yeah, everybody's like, "Oh, we got to try McDonald's. We got to try McDonald's." You know,
I realize how old that makes you sound too.
Makes me sound really old, man.
Yeah.
I applied for a job there.
I remember when the first McDonald's opened.
No,
in New York. That sounds crazy.
Yeah,
that sounds crazy.
Well, I don't know. Maybe there was others. I mean, I was just a teenager.
Yeah.
But I applied for a job there. It opened. It literally was a block away from my house.
Okay.
And they were building it, and all the kids were like, "Oh, we're going to work there. We're going to get summer jobs there and stuff." They didn't open in time for the summer, but it would have been a great after-school job. So I applied for a job, and I went in there and I filled out an application, and I sat there for an interview. And they had these. It wasn't open yet, but it was like they were practicing. They were all they were employees with little hats on behind the counter.
Yeah.
And they were hiring people.
Yeah, they have to get good at that. It's like a synchronization, or it used to be.
Yeah. So there were no customers, so I went in, and this manager came out, and he was just this big fat guy with big rolls of fat hanging off of his. He was wearing like a yellow manager's shirt.
Did he have a shirt on? What are you talking about?
And he sat down on this chair. He sat me in a chair in front of him, right in front of the counter, right in the main customer area. You know?
Yeah.
And he interviewed me, and he was asking me questions, and I don't know. He was looking at me. He was like really good. I think I was an impressive kid. I was pretty smart.
Okay.
And then he asked me, he goes, "Well, what do you do for, do you have any hobbies or anything like that? Or do you belong to any clubs?" I said, "Well, I belong to the International Oceanographers Association, and I think the Association Institute, something like that." And he goes, "What is that?" And I had joined this thing, and I got their magazine. I was interested in marine life and ocean studies and stuff like that. And I used to read up on that stuff a lot. Boring stuff, very nerdy stuff, And he just got a look on his face like that. And he's okay. And I could just tell by the look. It wasn't like horror or anything like that. It wasn't really overt. But as soon as I said that, it was like, this kid's not going to work here. This kid's not going to work out. And I knew he wasn't. I never.
Why?
I don't know. I think maybe they're. I don't know. I don't know.
Think he hates fish?
No, I thought maybe they're looking for people who are less nerdy or something.
Less curious about the world.
Less curious about the world. Well, that's the thing. He said, "Well, why?" Yeah, because I remember said, "Well, I'm interested in the oceans," and I started talking about marine life, and I started talking about I don't know. I just went on a little bit about what I knew about the ocean.
And you didn't get the job.
No, I didn't get the job.
That's weird, though.
Yeah. I could tell that's what it was. It was that one thing.
And so did they tell you on the spot you didn't get it? Or?
No.
That's a thing that happens now. And I know, I remember when I was applying to jobs as a teenager, you were totally weirded out by this.
Yeah.
I would go to an interview.
Yeah.
And they would say right after the interview, "All right, so can you start Tuesday? You're here on Tuesday."
Yeah.
And as if you had accepted the job, as if well, if you're here, you're obviously dying for this job.
Right.
And when I told you that, you were like, "What? They didn't give you any time to think about it?"
Yeah.
They didn't give you an offer?
Well, here's the thing. About 2 weeks later, my little sister, Elizabeth, who's a little bit younger than I am, she applied for the job. And she was working the next week.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, what?
So they liked her.
They liked her, didn't like me.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Maybe at that point you were too old and you were interested in these things. And they're like, this kid's going to work here for 3 months and quit.
Let's see. I was, how old was I at that time? Oh, well, I was probably a junior in high school.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I was old enough to work. I was probably 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm glad it actually worked out well that I didn't get the job, because then I got a much better job. I got a job working in a bowling alley. I was what they call a pin chaser.
Yeah.
And at that time, they didn't have really pin chasers. They had automatic pin setters, automatic pin setting machines. I don't know if you know what a pin chaser is. That's like really old. That was really before my time, but they still had that name.
Well, what is it?
When people go bowling in a bowling alley, if you see guys back there and the pins will get stuck or a ball will get stuck. And
somebody has to go fix it.
Somebody has to go fix it. Somebody has to straighten it out. Well, these were all automated pin setting, very complicated, beautiful, unbelievable machines. And they would break down all the time.
You sound passionate almost.
They were great.
Okay.
I can still hear them. I can still hear the noise. There was like 30 lanes going at all times. And whenever they'd break down, we'd have to go running and try to fix them. And we'd have to do maintenance on them. And I learned a lot about mechanics and how they worked and everything. It was a great job. And it was a good job because they didn't always break down. So I would be able to go, and it was, we used to work late at night. I worked after school. And so I would get in there like 7 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock or whatever it was, and have to work till like midnight, when they closed.
Wow.
Yeah. I used to have to work.
Then go to school the next day?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know.
That's not great.
Yeah, my grades weren't that good.
I did a lot of bowling. Cosmic bowling is what they called it.
Yeah.
As a kid. Like birthday parties. Every birthday party.
That's what you had.
Was at a bowling
That's
alley.
your generation.
Yeah.
We didn't have anything like that.
Right.
When I was at
and this is like the lights go down.
Yeah.
These colored
I
lights
know.
come out and are going everywhere. The music's
I
blasting.
was shocked.
That kind of thing.
And I've never, ever since I left that job, I could never go bowling again because I was just like traumatized by this noise and just.
All right.
And I can still hear it today. I could probably bowl again, but I can because after I left Wall Street and moved up to Cape Cod, I went into the insurance business, as you know, and I had won this contest, and the company took everybody bowling. They took us out to eat, and then after that it was like a surprise. Now we're going to go someplace cool. So they all put us in these cars and brought us out. The guys, like the month before, went Formula One racing. They actually drove racing cars.
Yeah,
but they took us bowling.
That sucks.
Yeah, but anyway, we get bowling, and I go in there and I go, all right, bowling, and I look at it's like all dark, and like you were saying, they have all of a sudden all this music and like disco lights and cosmic. Oh my! And there was fog rolling over the over the lanes.
Right.
And holy mackerel!
I think I'd rather go Formula One.
Oh yeah.
That's they took you bowling instead
of
Formula One racing.
And not only that, but it was Candlepin bowling, which they have in New England, which I'd heard of it. I'd never seen it before.
That's like throwing rocks at sticks.
Yeah.
It's basically what that is.
Which New England people won't like to hear you say.
Oh, too bad. They're like these little balls, right? They're these little tiny things.
They're little balls, but the pins are not like...
The pins are straight. Like they look like candles.
They look like candles, yeah.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I
like regular bowling.
Yeah.
Oh my God, but I heard Cotton Eye Joe so much as a kid.
What is that?
The song Cotton Eye Joe.
The song, yeah.
Yes, every 10 minutes at those bowling birthday parties, Cotton Eye Joe would come on.
Really?
And you'd have to dance to it and everything.
What? What's that got to do with bowling?
It would happen at the bowling alley. Everybody would be dancing to Cotton Eye Joe at the bowling alley.
Okay.
This is like a core memory for me as like a 10-year-old.
That's trauma.
Basically.
Yeah. Yeah, so I want to mention about this, look, by the time, see, a lot of things that we talk about, if we talk about it now, by the time the podcast comes out, it's all dated.
That's fine.
Sometimes when we talk about stories.
We're not a news show.
No, we're not. But this one story is this guy, what's this guy's name? Andy Byron?
Is that his name?
Andy Byron, I think. Yeah, he's the CEO of the company. What's the name of the company?
Astronomy?
Yeah.
I think it's Astronomer.
Yeah,
it's like some sort of tech company, like a startup.
It's a data infrastructure company. I think they control workflows.
One of those really, really boring companies, basically.
Yeah.
It's one of those companies where when you go to their website to see what they do,
you can't figure it out.
I
know.
It's like we set up complex data systems for budding startups in the Bay Area.
Yeah, like what do they do?
In the Bay Area. I'm like, I don't know what you do.
I know.
Whatever.
So
that's like Salesforce. Everybody's like, what the hell does Salesforce even do?
Yeah.
I don't know what Salesforce does.
Yeah, I should know that because they're a big success.
And that's one of the things that was my problem. I'm sorry, we'll get back to that in a second.
Yeah.
I just want to say that was my problem applying for jobs out of college too.
Right.
Was that there are plenty of jobs like that.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want to work for some company that I just do not care about what they do.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do something important. If they didn't, they wouldn't be in business most of the time, not all the time.
Right.
but I just don't care about it. I don't want to say passionate because it's like, oh, find your passion. Find something you're good at, develop a skill. That's all good too. But just doing something that just bores me to death, I couldn't commit to that for the next, I don't know, 20, 30, even 5, 10 years of my life. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes, astronomer.
Yeah, astronomer. I don't know all that much about the company, but that's what they do. And even when I look up what they do, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
So it has to do with management, data flow for companies. Like they put it in the terms of like a pipeline of information, which I think of, okay, so what is it? It's just data management between companies? I don't know. Let's not get into it because it's probably
something boring. Yeah.
It's something boring. So
that's what I mean. I could have worked for a company like that where somebody asked me what I do and my answer is just like that.
Right.
It's like, it's just data stuff.
So if you're bored and you're on company time, what do? You go to a Coldplay concert and you bring a chick with you.
I guess.
So, oh, by the way, this, the girl or the lady who he was supposedly having the affair with.
Yeah. She's like a lady. She's like a middle-aged woman.
Yeah, I think they're both middle-aged, right? They're like 50 or something.
Yeah, 40s or 50s.
But they originally named the wrong person in the press.
Really?
It's not the real person. Yeah. The one in they gave the name of the one of the HR heads. But I think she's in that department, but that's not the one. It's a different name. So it's like two names. So this other name got dragged into it and it's not the right one.
Okay.
So she's got to straighten that out. But now they know who it is and they know the name and all that stuff. And I was thinking, it's like, that guy works for a board of directors. I'm sure he's got stock options and all that stuff, and he owns probably a nice chunk of the company, right? He probably owns, it could be anything. Who knows? He might own 2%. He could own 15% of the company. Probably not 15% unless he's a founder. But he probably gets some stock and stuff like that. And they have to fire him. He's going to get fired. He's got to get fired. That's the thing. We talk about this. He could be fired by the time this podcast gets out, but he's got to get fired and she has to get fired. That's what board of directors do, because you cannot run a company and be doing that.
Of course not.
And I know, but it's not even the ethics involved. It's you can't be a CEO and be that weak. Do you know what I mean?
You mean romantically weak, emotionally weak.
Right. It's an emotional thing.
Sure.
Because a CEO, you can be married and be a successful CEO. You can do that. You can have a relationship. But if you can't that's the thing. When you cheat on your wife, you're not cheating on your wife, you're cheating on your family. And when I read everyone seems very delighted this guy got outed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I was watching something from Megyn Kelly, and she's like taking total delight in this, that it got, outed. Right. And I get that. I get that point, and he probably should be outed.
They want him to get his comeuppance.
Right, exactly. And he will. He will. He's good. He works for a board of directors. They're going to fire him.
Yeah. That's
what's going to happen. It has to happen because you cannot be, it's not because, you're a sinner, so you have to leave. Right? There are plenty of sinners running companies. Mm-hmm. You have to recognize that you cannot give your all if you're that type of person. If you're that emotionally involved, that you're going to cheat on your family, cheat on your wife, because that means he's attached to. They're not going to ever put it in these terms, but he's never going to. You can't make non-emotional decisions when you're an emotionally attached person, and this guy is, or all people who cheat on their wives are emotionally attached to women. That's their priority. They put that first before all else. If you'll put your lustful gratification ahead of your family, that means that you have an emotional issue. You're not going to be able to make right decisions for the company.
Yeah.
So then you get like, well, what about this guy? What about that guy? What about, Jeff Bezos, he had an affair. And he did. And I forget the exact issue. He had an affair, and he wound up marrying the person, right? Something like that.
This woman now.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember her name. She's plastic face.
Yeah. What is it?
Plastic face.
Oh yeah.
Her face is just totally distorted.
Plastic surgery. Yeah. Well, but you know what that tells me?
What?
Bezos is done. He's finished.
What do you mean?
Well, he's going to run companies. He's going to do stuff. He's going to do philanthropy. He's going to do all that stuff. He's not running Amazon anymore.
He's not?
No, he can't.
Why
can't. Not? Well, there's a billion reasons, but someone else has to run the company. He's not the head of Amazon anymore.
He's not?
No.
Bezos, yes, he is.
No, he's not.
What do you mean? What do you mean by head? You mean like CEO or
Yeah,
something?
I think he stepped down.
Yeah, I think he is. Let's see. I mean, I don't know what his role is, but okay. Let's see. Jeff Bezos is stepping down as Amazon CEO. This is
probably a couple of years ago.
Yeah, this is 2021.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is the same guy that was able to build that ridiculously huge empire doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
Okay, so he can't do that. It's not just a matter of chronological age. It's a matter of, he got lost in the emotionality of it. And this will never be analyzed. People pick, you can pick apart what I say, but you have to be dedicated to what's right in your heart so that you can make right decisions, and the company can exploit you for your decision making because it's business decisions, right?
Yeah.
And you have to be able to make non-emotional decisions. And anybody who would do that is too emotionally involved.
Okay.
And that's simply the way it is. So, but this company and this company, I know, but you don't know what it could have been because there's not a direct relationship. You're not going to see sales go like this and like that, depending on the CEOs having an affair or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's an emotional thing.
It's also, but it's more than that too. There's other concerns that make the board want to fire him.
Well, there are other things because it's a matter of trust. If he's not a trustworthy,
it's a matter of trust. It's also it is a matter of optics too,
right?
Which matters because would people want to do business with you if you think you have a scummy CEO who cheats on his family?
That matters, but there's a spirituality to it also.
Even hiring employees, it's like you're going to hire people that are going to work under him. You're going to hire women to work under him that don't feel like he's a good person,
right?
Or, so that creates a whole problem there,
right?
That goes beyond whatever you're saying,
right?
I don't know if they're consciously thinking about the reason that you're saying.
It doesn't go beyond what I'm saying. What I'm saying goes beyond what they're saying.
Okay,
and they'll never say that. And I have experience with that. I got fired by a board of directors one time.
For cheating on your wife?
They thought so.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Well, if you remember when I started the company back in early 80s.
Okay.
And, I'd raise some money from various companies and individuals. And we, long story short, as I was running the company, I was along with had a partner. And he decided he didn't like me anymore. Okay, my partner, so to speak. And I was the president of the company.
Is this the one who was like 10 years older than he told you?
Yeah.
What crazy guy?
Yeah, I had lost total trust in him because he was like 70. He was well into his 70s, and he told me, and he told the investors that he was only 60.
Yeah, so you're already dealing with...
I'm already dealing with...
somebody who just
who I can't
outright
trust.
lies.
Who I can't trust,
Literally lied about his age.
Yeah.
By decades.
By a decade. At least
crazy.
A decade. Yeah,
okay, so
was
go
not
ahead.
good. Yeah, so we, I had a staff, and we had, what happened when he decided he didn't like me anymore was that he went to the board and complained about me, saying that I was messing around with my staff, with some of my staffers, my young staffers. And I mean, they were like, I used to hire like high school seniors to come in and do work in the office.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. And a couple of college girls too. But that's what he said, and it was not true. And he went to them saying Dan is, And I remember we were at this meeting one time, and one of the I think it was the controller of one of the companies that had invested in ours. He takes me aside and he goes, you're not supposed to crap where you eat. And he didn't say crap. He said the other way.
Sure.
And I said, what do you mean? He goes, just be careful. And I'm like, what is he talking about? And that's when one of the other guys, like, I don't know, a few days later, he goes, he told us that you're having affairs with so-and-so. And I said, that's ridiculous. That's not true. It just wasn't true.
Yeah.
And they basically drove me out. They drove me out of my own company. I started the company, and they drove me out.
That's weird.
Yeah. Because they didn't trust me anymore.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't trust them. I didn't trust my partner anymore.
I mean, somebody who's going to lie like that, they might be a psychopath. That might be, because that's just, I mean, that lie about his age, I mean, that's crazy. That's lying about your identity.
Oh, yeah, but I had lost faith. First, that thing happened.
And then the lie about just making up that affair stuff
right.
based on nothing. I mean, it's one thing to embellish truth or make something seem true to go your way where it's a little bit, it's not really right.
Right.
But when you're just like making up things and presenting it to other people, I mean, that's like just Machiavellian. Like, I'm lying to get what I want.
I'm lying to get what I want. Oh, yeah. And that was exactly his nature, because after a while I discovered that he was basically doing bad things. He was having customers build that didn't buy any advertising, hoping that they would pay, things like that. And some of them did.
Yeah.
He would like send them phony invoices into companies.
So a company would, would buy advertising in your magazine?
It was a newspaper.
Yeah,
it was a tabloid. It was a tabloid newspaper.
So a company could buy advertising, even when they didn't. He would send a bill.
He would send a bill, hoping that they would pay it, and some of them did.
Like trying to gaslight them into thinking they bought an ad.
Yeah,
but or hoping like some secretary would just take care of it. Right? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really crazy. And some of the money came in, and I was like, "This is bad."
That's nuts.
So when I essentially I was asked to leave, and I resigned. But it was basically I was getting tossed out by the board of directors.
Well, there's not much to do when you have a partner like that, really.
No, I was not happy. There's
not much to do with it. And actually, that brings me.
And I was the guy that brought in the money. I did all of that. It was my company. I founded it.
Was he like an investor or something, basically?
It was
was that his role, like bringing in the initial capital or something?
That was my role.
No. I mean, what was his role as
my partner?
Yeah.
He was the head of advertising.
Oh, okay.
Like advertising sales.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I was in charge of production and general management of the company. We kind of shared that, but I was the CEO and president.
The cure for a psychopath in a society, is because you have psychopaths.
You're about to solve the problems of the world.
No. I'm not just talking about he's a psychopath. I'm talking about like a specific clinical definition that people get diagnosed with psychopathy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you're a psychopath, you're willing to basically do or say anything to get what you want.
Right.
You don't care about the feelings of other people at all.
Right.
And the cure for that in a community, in a society, is extremely disagreeable people. Really disagreeable people. Because what a psychopath does, and I was listening to Jordan Peterson talk about this, is a psychopath relies on making other people emotionally uncomfortable to get what they want. They make you feel very bad about certain things. They confront you. People don't like confrontation. They can't deal with a psychopath. So he uses that to get what he wants. But when that person encounters a disagreeable person who actually enjoys conflict, who actually enjoys combat and competition, the psychopath can't emotionally manipulate him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I don't like what you did. It made me feel very blah. And the disagreeable person is like, I don't care.
Well, that's kind of interesting because people would accuse Trump of being psychopathic, but he's actually taking the role that you're talking about.
Correct. He's the
anti-psychopath.
He's the exact opposite of a psychopath.
Yeah. The exact opposite.
You can tell he is because
so psychopaths hate him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Psychopaths hate him.
Yeah.
From this one weird trick. It's like classic internet advertising, right? Those fake. That's like a meme at this point. Yeah. But anyway, the reason I was looking into psychopathy and I was listening to Jordan Peterson talk about this stuff, and I know I'm a very disagreeable person, and not as a bad thing, as a good thing. Like I enjoy arguing with people. You know that about me. I enjoy competition because at the end of it, I'm like, didn't we learn something? Like, didn't we both get better? Didn't we have fun? And other people be like, no, that was awful. I'm like,
no,
I'm sorry. I thought we were having fun.
You made me bleed.
Well, I didn't hurt anybody. Yeah. But anyway.
Inside.
Yeah. Okay. So let me jump to this and it's tied in. Just trust me. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
This fall, an expanding number of top schools, including Columbia, MIT, Northwestern, Johns Hopkins, Vanderbilt, and University of Chicago. So those are like top schools, right? Will begin accepting dialogues portfolios from schoolhouse.world, a platform co-founded by Sal Khan, the founder of Khan Academy.
K-A-H-N.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, K-H-A-N.
K-H-A-N, yeah.
And that helps students with math skills and SAT prep. So what is Dialogues? This is his new initiative, Dialogues.
Khan.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me just keep reading. High schoolers will log into a Zoom call and with other students and a peer tutor, debate topics like immigration or Israel-Palestine, and rate one another on traits like empathy, curiosity, and kindness. And they offer a scorecard. The more sessions you attend, the more your fellow participants recognize your virtues and the better you do. So you go and debate these issues and talk about these current events with other students,
Okay.
and they rate you based on empathy, curiosity, and kindness.
Okay.
How empathetic you are, how kind you are.
I'm curious, what sort of platform is this?
It's like an online, like Zoom call type thing.
Okay.
And the other participants rate how you were based on the criteria that this platform has set forth.
I see.
And then these schools are going to get your report card from Dialogues,
Okay.
which is the name of the system, I guess.
Yeah.
But the traits that they highlighted there,
Yeah.
specific curiosity is okay, but kindness and empathy,
Right.
those are not the end all be all of a good student or a good person or a
Right.
moral person.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be rated on how empathetic I am. I would want to be rated on how, I don't know, how enthusiastic I am, how skeptical I am.
Well, what they're doing is that they're saying that those traits are important too.
They're saying that those traits are more important. They're elevating those traits above other traits.
Yeah, that's not good.
And the thing is, empathy specifically,
Yeah.
I'm going to say, those are feminine traits. And that's just true. You can measure them in people. Women have those traits more than men.
Right.
And men have other traits that women don't have. They're not measuring for those traits in men.
Right.
They're measuring for the feminine traits.
They are actually measuring and actually accommodating weakness.
That's exactly right. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. Because too much empathy is not a good thing.
No, it's not.
But according to Sal Khan, he says empathy is a superpower. The best conversations aren't just about what you say, they're about what you hear. We believe that listening is the key to learning and making the world a better place. And then right above that, he has some statement about best ideas come from many perspectives, which is classic, like diversity is a virtue thing. So diversity and empathy.
Right.
So he's emphasizing this one trait, which is a feminine trait. Men have it too, but not as much as women.
Right.
And too much of it.
There is value in being a good listener under the right circumstances, but you don't want to be the listener.
No, and in fact, and empathy means to basically, I feel what you feel. It's like I understand. That's what it means.
I know.
Okay, and you can have a more almost rational definition of empathy, where it's like, I understand where you're coming from.
I have an appreciation of what you're saying.
But we're talking about empathy like, oh man, it made him feel bad. I get that. Right.
No, and what they're talking about, I talk about this all the time. Another word that comes into play here is compassion, being compassionate.
Exactly. Empathy and compassion.
Empathy and compassion. That is like, I feel what you feel. It's like, it's trading psychic.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Which you don't like.
With another person.
Yeah.
That's disgusting and gross.
I know. Yeah. So, and empathy is one of the traits that make up this sort of umbrella dynamic in psychology called agreeableness.
Yeah.
How agreeable you are is determined by how empathetic you are.
Yeah.
It's also how polite you are, but it's how empathetic you are. So you don't want to be totally empathetic. Because if you're totally empathetic, that means you're very agreeable. You don't like conflict. You don't like saying, no, you're wrong, and I'm going to tell you why. You don't like that. And that's when psychopaths come in. That's when people come in who can take advantage of situations, who can say, you're hurting my feelings. I don't like what you're saying. The empathetic person is just say, oh, gosh, you're right. I hurt your feelings. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
No. That person's taking advantage of you.
Yeah, this sounds like somebody that's trying to, or some force that's trying to neutralize male aggression or something.
It is, and male aggression is very important.
It's extremely important.
And they're acting like we're too aggressive. We're not empathetic enough.
We're not male enough.
We're not. No. They're acting like we're too male.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I said that wrong. They want. Yeah, there's too much maleness.
Right. So here's Jordan Peterson on empathy.
Okay.
Shark into the tank, then it takes everything. So empathy is a very useful foundation for social interactions. I trust you and I trust you. Great, now we can cooperate. The problem is that if you get a community of cooperators established, Non-cooperators can move in and dominate.
Nothing gets done.
And so there's an ambivalence.
That's not really what he's saying.
I know, but I'm adding to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Between trust and skepticism that's bound to emerge. Okay, so we produced a society that was very trust-based, in which empathy could function very effectively. And then it got weaponized. Now, it got weaponized by psychopaths and narcissists, fundamentally, and sadists. We know their type. They're Machiavellian, so they use language to get what they want. They're narcissistic, so they want undeserved attention. They're psychopathic, so they're predatory parasites, and they're sadistic. So they're fun people, and they weaponize empathy, and it's unbelievably effective. Now, part of the reason it's effective, and part of the reason I think that people didn't stand up, they didn't stand up for me in Canada, although some people did, and some journalists, none of my professional colleagues to speak of, almost no psychologists, virtually no
Now he's complaining.
physicians. Agreeable, empathetic people don't believe that the parasitic, predatory, Machiavellian narcissists exist. They don't have that space in their imagination. And for them, so their default assumption is that anyone who's misbehaving is a victim.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah. So anyone misbehaving is a victim. So that's when you get the victim mentality. You get people who could basically say, woe is me, here are my conditions.
Yeah.
Treat me special. That's
Right,
what it is.
right.
That's what it is. And you end and he also likens it to, he says that women have it, and his theory is that it has to do with child rearing too, because the first year of a child's life,
Yeah.
it does actually need everything.
Right.
When it cries, you better tend to it. So being empathetic to that child, oh, poor baby, you need to care for that child.
Yeah.
And that's maternal. That's a motherly instinct. So it's great for raising children. But then at some point, okay, that child needs to learn to do things by himself or herself. That child needs to grow up. And that happens. And that's when a paternal instinct needs to come in and say, no, you're going to do that yourself. You're going to do that. You don't need my help. Say, but I'm scared.
Yeah, the father,
scared.
The paternal angle, the father comes in and basically saves the child from the mother.
Yeah, because the kid is growing,
of
and
course.
the kid needs to grow up and become an adult, where he does scary things.
Yeah, it's a matter of an infant survival.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Yeah,
but then that has to get handed over, and it becomes more paternal.
Right. So then so empathy is 100%, it's a maternal instinct, it is feminine.
Right.
Everybody needs it to some degree, but you need people without empathy in situations where empathy is actually suicidal, which is another guy, Gad Sad, who I follow. He's coined the term suicidal empathy. And he thinks that the West is basically killing itself by being so empathetic.
Right.
And we are. It's like we have our leaders telling you, don't you care about these people? It's like, okay, but we're I mean, the expression "give the shirt off your back." He'd give the shirt off his back for you.
Sure.
Okay, well, would he give you his house? Would he give you his bank account because you need it? And he made and that person made you feel so bad that you gave it all to them? No, of course not.
Right.
But that's a maternal instinct. I have to provide. I have to provide for these people who are helpless. And you do provide. There is charity, but it can only go so far. It can't go so far that you actually thwart yourself because of it.
Right.
Anyway, so when you have a platform that is emphasizing empathy, what you're doing is you're saying, okay, disagreeable people aren't welcome here. You should be more agreeable.
Yeah.
And that allows somebody like a psychopath, or not just a psychopath, just a narcissist, right, to come in and basically game that, to take advantage of that and find common ground that leans heavily in his direction or her direction, because they're doing things and saying things that are forcing empathy from other people, because empathy is being measured.
Right.
You have to be empathetic to get a good grade, to get into a good college.
Our whole political system is based upon controversy. We have to have the conflict. We have a left and a right. And And there's some people who say, well, we have to get along. We have to neutralize that.
Across the aisle.
No, we can't.
Yeah.
No, we have to fight. We have to fight against each other and get the conflict going and then compromise.
Right. And that's the thing is that, right. And the left likes using empathy as leverage against the right, so that compromise leans further in their direction.
Yeah, right.
Say, you're not being very nice right now, and it's really mean. It's like, well, you're trying to get me to go 75% the way to your direction instead of meeting me in the middle.
Yeah.
well, that's really mean if you make me come any further. That's what they do.
Right.
And that's why Donald Trump is so effective against them. He's like, I'm calling BS. You come meet me right here.
Yeah.
Look how mean he is.
Yeah, he's
Look
mean.
how mean he is. Well, you're forcing him to be mean. He's nice if you don't try and leverage empathy to get what you want.
And it's also, this ain't mean. It doesn't necessarily mean mean. It could just be contrary to what you want, so therefore it's mean.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying they're calling him mean because he's refusing to be empathetic.
But that's not
But
meanness.
why is he refusing to be empathetic? Because you're trying to use feelings to get what you want.
Yeah.
Which is exploitative.
Definitely. And that's also and that's also narcissistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah, of course.
And it is at its ultimate level, it's psychopathy. It's I am exploiting. I am making you feel a certain way to get exactly what I want. I do not care what it does to you.
Right.
I'm exploiting you. That's what it is. So
crazy.
Anyway, so
crazy
that's
stuff.
And I'm not saying Khan Academy. It's just the focus on that is so ridiculous.
So who's using this? What is this? Who is
That's
this
the thing.
for?
I don't even know who's using this. I watched a video about it, like a promo video.
Yeah. Is this something like if I have a company, I'm going to bring this into my company and make everybody?
I don't know. No, I think this is I don't know. I think students have to go and sign up for it.
Right.
And then these colleges are accepting scorecards from this organization.
Yeah.
So they're going to, it's going to be a part of your college application.
That's crazy.
So it's almost like a social credit system.
Yeah.
Right. Where you're being credited by your other students about how emotional you can be.
So what they're saying is we want entry into our college from all these compassionate, empathetic, compliant people.
Yeah. It's saying we want girly men.
Yeah.
And we're going to rate how girly you can be.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And
how feminine are you? That's what it is.
Will you complain when we take away your cheeseburger, or you say, oh,
I understand where you're coming from. That's what it is. I understand your position.
Yeah.
I wish I could have a burger. And they say, well, how about a 60% beef, 40% mushroom burger?
Yeah.
And instead of thinking, no, because what you're doing is you're ruining the burger, you say, okay, I can get behind that.
How about what my father would say to me when I was a kid? What are you, stupid?
Is that what he would say?
Yeah.
What is it? Just a general expression?
Yeah, just, if I said something contrary to what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If I disagreed with him.
So.
Oh, I wanted to mention about the anticholinergic drug that I was taking.
The nose spray?
The nose spray.
Yes.
Yeah, because I had mentioned in a previous podcast about the dementia possibilities and all that stuff.
Yeah, it causes dementia, basically.
Yeah, and I'm not taking it anymore.
Looks like it.
But I just wanted to point out something, because if somebody's taking that, you can take those short term, as long as it's short term. What they found is that particular spray is localized and doesn't really, only a little of it will penetrate the blood-brain barrier. So I brought it up to you. I didn't want you to get worried that I would be losing my mind.
No, I looked up the study after you mentioned it.
Okay.
Just on my own, because I wanted to see what the study said. And I wanted to see how it was designed too, because I had hypothesized how they may have done it.
Right.
Because doing a study over years, long-term study, is very difficult. It's almost impossible.
Right.
They didn't measure groups like that. They actually looked at a certain, aged person.
Yeah.
And looked at how many have dementia versus how many don't have dementia.
Okay.
And then looked at the nose spray, not nose spray, the what is it, anticholinergic? The anticholinergic drug use between the groups of people who have dementia and who don't, and found that a higher percentage of the group that have dementia used the drug.
Right.
So that's how they figured it out.
Right.
It's like retrospectively looking
back.
But
it's also this particular drug. It's not. It's not. People take that stuff orally.
Yeah.
It's more systemic.
Okay.
Whereas this was just a localized nose spray. Still, I don't want it. I'm not,
right. But I think they found, from what I saw, that it was after the group that the people that used it for like 3 or more years. Those are the ones that had the increased dementia. So it is long term in that you have to use it for years.
I don't even want it for the short term.
No, I wouldn't, because if it's doing it for the long term, it's doing it for the short term too. I mean, a little bit of arsenic won't kill you. But I don't want it.
Yeah.
Although I do like apples.
Apples have arsenic?
No.
Tomatoes.
Cyanide. I'm sorry.
Oh, cyanide.
They have cyanide, right?
I think they do.
Not arsenic.
There's cyanide.
Don't apple seeds have cyanide?
Oh, right? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a thing.
Oh.
You can get poisoned if you eat too many apple cores.
Oh, really? Who's going to eat an apple core?
That's a good question. you instinctively know not to do it.
Yeah.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Dan.
Are you empathetic?
No, I'm ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, check out this. Humans are starting to talk more like ChatGPT, study claims.
Yeah.
So it's actually affecting our vernacular, our word choices, using ChatGPT.
Okay. Are we signing our letters best?
Yeah,
Best.
probably. No, what they did is they
Putting M dashes between all of our sentences.
what these researchers did, I read the whole thing, not the whole study, I read the article. They took I did check out the study though. It's a preprint, so it's not even out yet. But they took groups of like large swaths of emails and articles and things that people had written, probably before ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And they gave it all to ChatGPT.
Right.
And they gave it a prompt for each one. And they said, make this better or like improve this for clarity.
Right.
Don't change structure. That classic, thing.
Yeah.
And then took it out, whatever it spit out, and then compared the original with what it had spit out for these thousands and thousands of documents.
Okay.
And looked for words that were common in the ChatGPT stuff versus the human written stuff. And they dubbed those ChatGPT words. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
So it's like words that weren't appearing with that level of frequency until ChatGPT got a hold of it.
Right.
So those words...
the one word that keeps coming up, and I can't say it, is fluff. I keep getting fluff.
Fluff?
Yeah.
In your stuff?
Yeah. I would take something and say...
That's weird.
I would say, do a spell... I've used it for... I use it for spell checking and grammar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot. And it takes something and it says, here it is, no fluff. Like, what are you talking about? No
you
fluff?
must have told it that once.
Maybe.
And it's remembered that for you.
Must have.
Because it'll say things sometimes that I swear are just trying to get me to like it. Where I'm like, I didn't tell you. Like, I haven't said that in like a month.
Yeah.
And you just threw this back. It's like, find me a ba-ba-ba that doesn't have this, or like, a guitar, ba-ba-ba, whatever. And I'll be like, here it is. No contemplation necessary. Be like, what? Are you referencing my meditation app?
I know.
Like, what are you doing?
I know. That happened to me one time. It was, can't give the exact example, but at the end, I said, well, what is the cure for this? Whatever it was. And it gave some, I said, okay, well, that medication, I can see where that would work. And then at the end, it says, and don't forget to meditate. Meditate non-contemplatively. Yeah. I'm like, what?
Yeah, like I didn't need you like infiltrating this with my own ideas. I wanted you to just tell me what you found.
Yeah.
So anyway, what are the words here? Okay, here they are. Delve, realm, meticulous.
Delve, yeah, delve.
Delve, it does delve for you a lot.
Yeah,
and
delve.
Apparently meticulous is a ChatGPT word. So what they did is they took those words after they figured them out. They made a list.
Yeah.
And then they analyzed thousands of hours of podcast material on YouTube.
Right.
Since before and after ChatGPT was released.
Yeah.
And they found, so this is just people talking, right? This isn't written stuff. That way we know it's not tampered by ChatGPT. This is just people talking like on a podcast.
Right.
And they found that people were actually speaking with these words more than they were before ChatGPT came out.
Wait a minute. But maybe they're scripting.
Oh, that's a good point too. I don't know how you mean like they're pretending to have conversations?
Yeah.
But they've rehearsed things that maybe ChatGPT has given them?
Right.
Yeah, that would affect things.
Yeah.
That would affect things. But even so, even if they did, that would convolute this study for sure. But even if that's true,
right,
that's definitely affecting how people are speaking outside of scripted material. Right. So, but what they found is, assuming that's not true, but it is a good point, they found that the podcasts after ChatGPT had more ChatGPT words in it, even though it's just people speaking back and forth.
No fluff.
No fluff.
No cap. That's crazy.
But what are some other words? Let's see if they have other words here.
Yeah, the one.
Okay, here's some more. Underscore. Okay. That is a ChatGPT word for sure.
Underscores, yeah.
Comprehend, which to me is a normal word, but
that's
okay.
a normal word.
Bolster. Yeah, that's definitely a ChatGPT. Here's some recent news articles that bolster the view. That something like that.
Yeah.
Swift, boast, inquiry, and groundbreak.
Groundbreaking. Yeah.
That's interesting. So apparently we're going to hear a lot more of those words from everyday people now.
That's terrible.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. The thing is, I noticed that. I was looking at like a lot of stuff that I put in, like I put on social media and stuff, and I look at it and say, God, I hope nobody thinks that's ChatGPT because I used a lot of hyphens. I used a lot of M dash.
I love the M dash.
I've been, and now I'm afraid to put my. I probably use too many M dashes.
You use way too many.
Everybody says I use too many.
As somebody who has edited your blogs,
everybody hates my M dashes. So it's like, oh, I'm not going to take all my M dashes out, otherwise they'll think I'm ChatGPT.
Yes, that is what's going to happen. In fact, you've sent stuff before to me, not for publish, but like just whatever. And I've read it. I'm like, did he write this or did he put this through an AI first?
Yeah.
And there are times you say, no, I wrote that.
Yeah.
But there are other times where it's like, well, yes, but it's still mine. And I read like, no, it added this thing. You're like, oh, I didn't see that. Like, yeah, no, it added some ridiculous sentence.
I would never in a million years take something, put it through ChatGPT, and then just send it out to somebody. That would be horrible.
That'd be wrong.
No, it'd be wrong because it wouldn't be me. It wouldn't be my stuff.
And I
especially when it comes to spiritual matters, you think I'm
right. We were talking about this the other day too. Somebody was boasting about this. Oh crap! I used a ChatGPT word. Somebody was bragging, not boasting.
Boasting. Yeah.
Somebody was bragging about setting up some sort of AI thing where for marketing, where they had an AI that was reaching out to people and basically pretending to be him. So it's like it creates a personalized email and sends it to you, and you think it's a person talking to you, so you respond because it's like, oh, cool, somebody's taking the time to write to me. Yeah. No, it's ChatGPT. It's an engine. Yeah. And they're like, I've increased my response rate by 3 times by doing it this way. And I'm like, yeah, that's going to work until everybody realizes that those personalized emails are AI. Then nobody's going to respond anymore.
Right.
This is only magic while you're tricking people. Once people catch on, it's not going to work anymore. Not going to work anymore. It's nothing to brag about. Sorry.
Crazy.
So,
all right.
Is that it for today?
I think so.
All right, we're good for today.
Best.
Cool. Best. No fluff.
No fluff.
Bye.